Hi, I'm Angelique. I'm a registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator with Ever Nourished Wellness. Today, I want to talk a little bit about creating healthy habits. How many of you are feeling motivated? Oftentimes, at the beginning of a month, at the beginning of a year, we feel motivated to start or do that thing. And motivation is not faithful, unfortunately. Motivation's great when it's there, but motivation is like a monkey, like you see here on this slide, meaning that it's all over the place. You cannot rely on the motivation monkey. So, when it comes to creating lasting habits, we want to look beyond whether we are feeling motivated. It's very natural and normal that motivation will come and go. Even an Olympic athlete, for example, will not always feel motivated to do their workout. So, beyond motivation, what does it take to create those healthy habits, lasting, long lasting healthy habits and routines? One of the tools that I look at when I'm working with someone is using something called finding your big why. And this is simply an exercise of asking why 5 times, about 5 times. Sometimes you get your answer in 4, or maybe it takes a little bit more than that. And usually doing this exercise with someone else is helpful, but you can do it by yourself. So, what it looks like is state your goal simply. In this example that I have here, someone says, I want to get healthier. It sounds very vague. Um, and so the first why is, why does it matter to you to get healthier? And the person might answer, because I want to feel more energetic. And so then we ask again the second time, why do you want to feel more energetic? And on and on and on. So we keep asking until we get to something deeper. And usually we find that people get to a point where they find something more meaningful that they can grab onto about why this goal is important to them. Another tool that I like to use is something from James Clear, his book Atomic Habits. And that's the 3 phases or layers of habit formation. So that outer layer that you see there is the outcome. That's what someone wants to achieve. That's what they want to get. So maybe it's better blood sugars. And the process is what that person does. It's the actions that the person takes to get the better blood sugars. So maybe they move before and after they eat. Maybe they pay attention to their carbohydrates, especially, drinking things like simple sugars. And then at the very core or center of the habit formation, you'll notice that identity is there. And that's how a person sees themselves. And this is, again, that bigger why. It gets to the deeper core of why those actions and why that outcome. It's that person's identity, their values, their beliefs. And just a real quick example here, if let's say someone is trying to quit smoking and they're at a party and someone offers them a cigarette, and that person answers, no, thank you, I'm trying to quit. Another person, similar situation, they're about 2 weeks out of trying to quit smoking, and someone offers them a cigarette and they say, no, thank you, I'm not a smoker. It's very subtle, but it's huge. The identity, the beliefs, what they are telling themselves, those 2 different people, one person is telling themselves that they are a smoker and they're trying to quit. So they're still identifying as that smoker. The other person is identifying as, I am not a smoker. They're already identifying, taking on that identity. And that is huge because what they believe about themselves, what they tell themselves, will then create their actions and then their outcomes. So this is another tool that we look at when we're looking at creating healthy habits long term. And then finally, one of the other tools that I like to use is the B equals MA plea and celebrate. So this is from BJ Fogg. He has the book Tiny Habits, and there's many videos that you can look at for him. He's a researcher out of Stanford looking at behavior change for the last 20 years. And basically what he's saying is that behavior equals motivation, ability, and prompt when they all come together at the same time. Okay. So you might feel very motivated, but you don't get the cue or trigger to do the behavior, or maybe the action or the behavior that you say you're going to do is too big. It's, I want to get up and run 5 miles. You might be motivated to do that one time, but you're not able to do that daily. And so we want to work with someone's goals and actions so that the motivation, the prompt, and the ability to do the thing that they want to do or say that they want to do all comes together to create the behavior. And then we want to immediately celebrate. This is a sensation that we feel immediately. It's not when I lose 10 pounds, I'm going to reward myself with a massage. That's not this type of celebration. The celebration is immediate. You do the thing that you want to do. You say you wanted to stay hydrated. You are staying hydrated, and you take a moment to feel that shine, that joy, that little celebration. It could be a little happy dance. It could be whatever you want. You got this, girl, a whatever phrase or anything to kind of pause and celebrate that the thing happened, the behavior happened. So whether it's working with someone's nutrition habits to stay fueled and energized, or their physical activity habits, their habits for sleep, or even managing stress, we look at the cues, we look at the environment, we look at how able they are to accomplish that goal, because we want to have ongoing success. If this sounds like something that resonates with you, then visit evernourishwellness.com, join the Gut and Muscle Reset. You can use the code MUSCLEGUT for 10% off. In this program, we are going to be talking about gut health, muscle health, and sustainable habits in these areas. It's a 6-week online coaching program, and I hope to see you there.